Coming up tonight, the latest from Kuala Lumpur as Malaysia's planned easing of lockdown restrictions might be delayed. Here in Singapore, people are just glad to finally be able to dine in again, even if it's just for two. And the wait is over. The BTS meal is finally here, and hopefully you managed to get yours today. This is the Straits Times Newsnight. Good evening, I'm Dylan Ang. Now, in a setback for Malaysia, its coordinating minister for immunisation says the country will not be able to meet its target of vaccinating 10% of the population by the end of this month. And that potentially might mean delaying Malaysia's targeted easing of the ongoing lockdown, which started on June 1st and is slated to end on June 28th. A scenario that is looking increasingly likely, according to Malaysia Bureau Chief Shannon Tew.
Most of us are looking at the vaccination numbers. How soon can we get up to 10%? And because the minister is saying that it's probably going to be mid-July, realistically, that's going to be the new target now. So lockdown will be extended, and of course we know that even after you reach those targets, there'll be phase 2, phase 3 with new targets. It doesn't mean the lockdown is ended, it just means it eases a bit. Where it kind of exits is really in phase 3, and the target still remains, I think, something September, October. So if we do well over the next 2 months, we could still meet that kind of exit strategy.
Now, here in Singapore, we are seeing a further relaxation of COVID-19 rules, even as new cases break out and a major cluster continues to grow. For many people and businesses, the last few weeks haven't been easy, and so it's with great relief that more measures are easing. From today, dining in at hawker centres, food courts and restaurants can resume, but for up to only 2 diners. Heading to the gym for a much-needed workout, indoor activities that involve people removing their masks can resume, but groups must be limited to 2 people and classes will be kept at 30 people in total, including the instructor. Activities held outdoors can also resume in groups of up to 5 people, but with class sizes kept at 30. It looks like Singaporeans are more than ready to sweat it out again, with gyms and fitness studios reporting strong demand from members. One customer said it best, telling ST, "Of course you can work out at home, but the environment is different, so it somehow affects your mood to work out. I need the right environment and the right place to work out." And over at hawker centres and coffee shops, business was steady but nothing spectacular. There were no big crowds, tables remaining largely empty, with many still choosing to take away their food and drinks. One person telling ST that he and his wife have missed eating out, and he's happy to once again be able to catch up with friends and clients over a cup of coffee. Also starting from today, if you're dining in at a hawker centre, coffee shop or food court, it's mandatory to clear the table of dirty trays, plates and litter like tissues, wet wipes, shells and bones after your meal. For the time being, at least no enforcement action will be taken during this advisory period. But from September 1st, first-time offenders will be given a written warning. Second-time offenders will face a $300 composition fine. Now for the latest COVID-19 numbers, 16 new cases were confirmed today, with 13 in the community. 5 of these are unlinked, while the remaining 8 are linked to previous cases. 3 imported cases were also confirmed. Now it comes as the cluster at Bukit Merah View has grown to 73 people as of Sunday, with the 3 newest cases already in quarantine when they tested positive. Now, within walking distance from Bukit Merah View, residents from 7 HDB blocks in Redhill Lane and Redhill Close will have to take a mandatory COVID-19 test. This comes after viral fragments were found in wastewater samples collected from some blocks. The affected blocks are 81, 82 and 83 Redhill Lane and 87, 88, 89 and 90 Redhill Close. Visitors and those who've come into contact with these residents may also volunteer for testing, which began today and continue until Wednesday. As Singapore ramps up testing, the first 2 quick test centres opened today in former outdoor bus terminals in Tekka and Yishun. The centres will support small businesses unable to organise the mandatory bi-weekly COVID-19 tests for those in sectors where staff have prolonged contact with customers or unmasked patrons. This afternoon, the Straits Times went to the one at Yishun Central, where mostly hawkers from the nearby Chongpang Market and Food Centre were getting tested. Here's what some of them had to say.
就是很好咯，政府也给我们寄这种免费的，而且帮我们安排这些，是很好的一个东西咯，这样子咯。头尾都要半个钟头这样啦，差不多从点名到去做，差不多20到30分钟这样啦，差不多这样子咯。
This is the first time I do by myself. I scared first time doing, but not scared for the COVID. I scared for doing it ourselves. This first time.
就是不会很难，很简单而已，每个人都可以自己做测试的，这个很简单的，你自己 control 所以不会怎样，不是他们帮你弄，是你自己弄，当然是自己啊，因为自己才有自己的感觉嘛，对啊。
Let's take a look at what's been trending on social media today. It's here. The highly anticipated BTS meal from McDonald's launches today, with fans wasting no time and getting in on it from 11 a.m. High demand was seen throughout the day, with a virtual queue even forming in the Mac Delivery app. Food delivery riders were spotted waiting outside various outlets around the island, like at Tampines West Community Club and East Point Mall, as they picked up orders. Reminder signs were also seen informing people about the delivery policy. The meal is only available via delivery to prevent massive crowds in these pandemic times. And as with anything limited edition here, the packaging has already made its way onto Carousel with over 200 listings on the app. Though some offered to give them away for free, others look to be asking for more than $100. And many of us celebrated Father's Day yesterday, and it was certainly one to remember for Usain Bolt as he announced the birth of his twin sons. But it was their names that captured our attention. The 34-year-old Olympic sprinter took to Instagram to announce the birth of Thunderbolt and Saint Leo Bolt, and even put a lightning emoji next to their names. If you've forgotten, he also has a daughter named Olympia Lightning. Now, Bolt is not the first celebrity to use a play on words when naming children, of course, with Kanye West and Kim Kardashian previously naming their child Northwest. Yay or nay for the Bolt family? Let us know in the comments. Now, with a name like Thunderbolt, just imagine if Thunder was actually pretty bad at running. And gone but never forgotten, Star Wars legend Mark Hamill took to Twitter to celebrate the announcement that co-star Carrie Fisher will finally get her star on Hollywood Boulevard. One of the loudest voices lobbying for her to receive a star, Hamill added a special mention to her while congratulating the other new Walk of Fame honorees. He said much love to and a very special one-finger salute to the incomparable, hilarious and irreverent force of nature that was my space sis Carrie Fisher. Her star will blaze from here to eternity. Fisher, who died suddenly in 2016, is being honoured together with stars like director Francis Ford Coppola and actor Macaulay Culkin. A date for her star ceremony has not been set. Before we go, here's a concept we're not particularly familiar with in Singapore, the summer solstice, aka the longest day of the year in the Northern Hemisphere. Now, despite official advice against travelling, hundreds turned up at Stonehenge in the UK, defying COVID restrictions. The traditional Stonehenge event, cancelled for the second year running, typically sees about 10,000 gather at the monument yearly to mark midsummer. Now, despite official access to Stonehenge being stopped and the availability of a live feed of the sunrise that's meant to discourage visitors, hundreds were seen climbing over fences to get to the ancient stone circle. Revelers were seen celebrating without masks and with little regard for social distancing, though police said the event was largely peaceful. And that wraps up the Straits Times Newsnight. Do visit straitstimes.com to see more news and videos, and subscribe to our YouTube channel by hitting the button below. Keep safe, and I'll see you tomorrow.